Here in America, we're crazy about the British royal family, especially the story of how American actress Meghan Markle got married to Prince Harry. A year ago, Lifetime gave us a movie which brought us through the entire beginning of the royal romance. This year, we get a fascinating sequel which gives us a dramatic look at all of the scintillating details of the wedding, including several important events that never happened. It's Harry and Meghan becoming royals. Let's join this cast of not so familiar faces where the accents are even more British, the behavior even more preposterous, and the bedrooms at Buckingham Palace even more small and humble. This movie gave me a lot of new information about our favorite new couple, Harry and Meghan, but it also leaves a couple questions. So we're gonna go through the most important and funniest moments of the movie here in today's clip breakdown. Stay tuned for a British thing. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another Lifetime movie clip breakdown. This movie was full of twists and turns and a lot of British and a lot of this and that, okay? So before we jump into it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more clip breakdowns on TV movies just like this. There's a playlist below. Also, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button. It looks like that right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. Make sure you check out the prequel clip breakdown to this one where I cover Harry and Meghan, a royal romance, if you want all of the background. We're just gonna jump in right where we pick up with Meghan Markle herself finishing up her last day shooting on the show Suits, where her final scene is ironically a wedding as well. The first thing I notice is that the entire cast has changed from the first movie. The person who plays Meghan Markle is different, Prince Harry is different. The only actor who seems to be the same is the hairstylist, so that's good that we're able to get him back for this hit sequel. Oh, in case you were wondering, the new Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have even less chemistry than before.
You know, you're kind of cute.
You're not too bad yourself. Kind of got that whole American goddess vibe going on. I think I actually might want to marry you.
Yeah? Okay. Cool.
I'm sorry, were you guys asked to phone it in for this movie? Was that the direction? Okay. The movie basically follows our favorite Meghan Markle, American goddess, all through the first year leading up to her wedding and then about 9 months after, spoiler alert. So we follow her to the royal Christmas party and she's a little nervous because they want to ask the Queen if she can have a black preacher at the wedding and a gospel choir. Don't worry, this movie still gives us plenty of screen time for Kate Middleton and Prince William, who are both super annoying. Also, we now get their toddler daughter, who is of course Charlotte, who is a royal baby.
Charlotte, those aren't for you. I'm so sorry. What was that?
Did anyone ever want to tell this child actress to switch out her demon mouth for a different expression? No? Okay. Maybe that's what the real Charlotte looks like. My first question about the royal family that we get from this movie is, does anyone know if they really exchange gag gifts with each other on Christmas Eve? Because that's, according to this movie...
Ooh. Snot!
You stick one up your nostril during one of those tedious ribbon-cutting ceremonies and watch the commoners panic. I use them all the time.
Okay, that guy seems A, like a scary creature from a Muppet movie, and B, like one of the bad guys from The Purge. I don't know if he's meant to be an actual British royal person, but oh, that's scary. His behavior frightens me. Meghan gives the Queen a singing hamster gift, which for some reason the Queen is like obsessed with. I don't believe that the Queen would care about any of this. Like, if you went to PetSmart and got her some garbage, wouldn't she be like, thank you? Throughout the movie, we get some really kind of helpful exposition from this news show where there's a British man and a British woman. The British woman is pro Meghan Markle. She represents, I think, the women in the audience. And then the guy is really chauvinistic and we don't like him.
And I'm giving her first public curtsy to the Queen a B+.
But the hat gets an F from us both. Absolute fail. Am I the only one who thinks it looks like a poo head emoji?
My first attempt at official royal wardrobe? Poop head.
Leave it to America to take all of the class and elegance out of any topic. Do you ever think that maybe going inside someone's royal bedroom is too much insight into their lives? Do we really want to ruin the mystery like this? Also, why does it always look like Harry and Meghan are staying in the guest house at someone's grandparents' home in Connecticut? It does not look like the royal palace or the home of royal people at all. Next, it's actually Christmas, where there's another weird tradition. Apparently, all of these fancy royals play charades. I'm sorry, charades. They literally correct Meghan and ask her to pronounce it charades. And that's when the movie Get Out comes up. There's a lot of topical references that bring us back 2 years in this movie, because remember, this all took place 2 years ago. So one girl, the mean princess lady who we don't like, draws that as a topic for charades.
Oh dear. Get Out. I don't think I want to do that one.
It was nominated for Best Picture.
Edward.
Nelson Mandela was one of my favorite people. And I love Obama.
What's Obama?
Oh wow, they're really making the British family look very racist, aren't they? They're so uncomfortable with black people in that room that they can't even talk about the movie Get Out without everyone acting scandalized. I don't know if that's an accurate or helpful portrayal of the British people, but maybe. I don't know. I don't live there. I think it's really just trying to show how much Meghan feels like a fish out of water, but it's coming on a little heavy-fisted. When it's the Queen's turn to play charades, she has a moment that really kind of disturbed me, because I don't think I've ever seen any actress playing the Queen do this. And again, I don't know what the Queen is like in real life, but this just gives me an unpleasant feeling.
Oh, Gone with the Wind.
How is it not okay to do charades about the movie Get Out, but it's okay to talk about Gone with the Wind by pretending to fart? I guess that's better. It's okay if the Queen does it. She jumped right in. She was like, Gone with the Wind? Ew, smelling like my fart. How about that? Eventually, the couple does get around to talking to the Queen about their wishes for the wedding, and she's actually all for it. She recommends a black preacher. She's all up in knowing about a gospel choir that can sing a cappella. The whole royal family is like, yes, let's mess it up. Let's make the wedding a little bit black. It then basically jumps into all of the details about the wedding that you could have picked up in People magazine. You have a cake tasting and champagne trying montage where we find out all of her unconventional choices, like lemon cake? What? Instead of fruit cake? There's a lot of that. All of the tabloid details that you basically could read on the Wikipedia page about the royal wedding. That's what they're listing here. Meghan talks to her mom via Skype. I think maybe this actress is the same as in the previous movie as well. But in either case, she totally waves at a dog from a camera, like that's gonna do anything.
Oh.
Oh, I'll just wordlessly give your dog a wave. Say hi. Meghan's all excited because this is gonna be the wedding of the century. Oprah's coming, but she's not doing interviews. And basically, Meghan has to get a new assistant because she has all of this wedding prep. She's getting married in front of 1 billion people. I love this assistant because she's in like 2 scenes and she only says words that nobody would say in real life.
Whatever I can do to make things easier, don't hesitate to ask. I'm not afraid of early mornings or late nights. The American spirit of entrepreneurialism really inspires me.
Oh. Did American entrepreneurs invent waking up early and going to bed late? I didn't know that. Thank you, British girl. Meghan was all excited about her emerald, tiara. Again, they're really shoehorning in details about why she chose the emerald because it represented a chakra for her. All that fun is thwarted when a white powder is sent in an envelope to the palace and it's addressed to Meghan. And she's like, let me guess, it had a racist note attached to it. And it's like, yes, honey, that's how terrorism works. It's not great. After the Grenfell, again, we're gonna tie in a lot of topical events. So the Grenfell Tower fire happens, which was a really tragic event in London. And Meghan goes to volunteer with some of the women who are Muslim and they work in the kitchen to help the victims of this fire. It takes Meghan a really long time in this scene to strain some pasta. That's basically all she gets done at her time there. But thank you for your help, I guess. And she promises the women that she's gonna publish a cookbook of their recipes and donate the funds. So this is like her first project as the Duchess. When she gets married, she'll be like all up in this charity. And it's a little bit risque for people because the women who do it have headscarves on, they're Muslim and they wear hijab. That's a problem for the British people. The royal family, in one way or another, decides they need to start letting Meghan talk about charity stuff, so they let her in on this Q&A where she goes on just a little bit too long with a little bit too much forceful dialogue, I guess, about what she believes.
Friction may have been caused by something Miss Markle said a little earlier in the event.
And the vehemence with which she said it.
You know, I hear people say that you help women find their voice. And I fundamentally disagree with that because women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice. They need to be empowered to use it.
Okay, why are you yelling at me? I'm the charity lady who's moderating this thing. I'm on your side, honey. Prince William does not like the way Meghan is talking to the press. He's like, she's going to get our reputation ruined. And he's literally always yelling at Harry about his wife. This movie tries to be really good for women, but it basically just talks about how the men are in charge behind the scenes and trying to control them. Maybe that's how it is in the royal family. I couldn't say. Willing to guess that might be partially true. But not really. They have a queen. The queen should be in charge of all of it, but the queen's assistants are all men, so I don't know. It's confusing. What am I talking about? Let's see where we are. Oh, is there something I don't know about Charlotte? Is she like really spunky and full of life? Because they really want to kind of work that into the story.
The closer Kate and I are to her vehemence, the more politics taints us.
Are you saying you don't agree with her politics?
Have you met Princess Charlotte? I'm obviously not raising a daughter without a voice. She is a cheeky monkey, isn't she?
I think you are raising a daughter without a voice, because all I've seen is her wordlessly touching things in a Christmas party scene. She might have no voice. And why are you gonna call her a cheeky little monkey like that? That's weird too. Basically, next, our girl Meghan is upset because Leonard, who is like the secretary to the queen and enforces all of the royal protocol, he shuts down her emerald head thing because another royal person had worn it for her wedding just a year before, and there's all these things that she's not considering. He basically has to jump in and save her from embarrassing herself. But I also question the way Leonard talks about A, himself as a gay person, apparently, and B, the queen, who he's sworn to protect and work for.
That old queen has sent this old queen to keep you in line.
Wow, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that he never really said that. Leonard, are you a made-up person? I think you might be. They call him Leonard the Leopard, and he's always saying something sassy and droll. Again, just like the hairstylist, presumed gay. Lifetime is better about having the vaguely gay best friend characters than Hallmark is. Just an observation, not a judgment. So we're 8 days pre-wedding, which is like really soon, and Meghan's dad is invited, and she's super excited to have him walk her down the aisle until A, he's in the hospital for getting a stent in his heart, and B, he is like selling staged photos to the paparazzi to make money and to help make him look really favorable in the eyes of the press. But he's denying it when Meghan asks him about it.
You lied!
Fine. Well, maybe it would be better for you guys if I was dead. That way you could pretend to be Sarah.
Did he just hang up on us?
That escalated quickly. Gotta say, they really don't make Meghan's dad come off like a glowing prize in this movie. In either case, the reason he can't come is because he's recovering from his heart surgery, but, you know, it's also because he's sort of a jerk. Thankfully, King What's-His-Name offers to walk her halfway down the aisle after she brings herself down the first half, and they go into the symbolism of all of that. You know, I get it. In real life, all of these things, these decisions had some sort of royal symbolism attached to them. I'm just saying, I don't need all of it crammed into this movie. It's okay that the dad's not coming because finally Meghan's mom shows up looking like a completely different person from the last movie. Now I'm sure of it. Meghan is giving herself and her niece like a talk-up right before the wedding, and she's just like giving out inspiring phrases.
I'm gonna say something, and I want you to repeat it back exactly as I do. Ready? I can do this.
I can do this.
I can do this.
I can do this.
Wow, that's a really good phrase to hang on to. Did you use the royal speechwriter to come up with that? She saw a Nike Just Do It poster and she was like, that's gonna be my motto. Here we are, just about to walk out the door for her first steps as a royal married woman, and we find out the motivation behind that classic hairstyle.
Perfect.
Not perfect.
I just love her. She's like, not perfect. I'm a little messed up. Looks like I got hit in the head over here. Not perfect. In the car, Mom has a full unbroken monologue about all of Meghan's life leading up to that point, with a really strong sense of perspective on the significance of her marriage today.
Centuries of history being overturned today. This beautiful wedding is breaking so many stereotypes and pushing so many boundaries. A whole lot of people are going to be lifted up.
I guess that's the kind of clunky dialogue you get when you try to do an hour and a half of gossip and then just shoehorn the message in on the ride to the church. The wedding happens at the hour mark, which is pretty reasonable, and Prince Harry is like instantly like, can we make a baby now? Which is just like, he just weirds me out this whole movie. I don't buy his performance. They always want him to come across like a rebel rouser who doesn't follow the rules, but to me, he just looks like a white redhead. So now that Leonard is in charge of helping Meghan somehow, he's the Queen's secretary and now Meghan Markle's secretary. He's all excited to help her pick out her costumes for her first tour, summer of appearances, and they really make it seem like that's all she's meant to do. Even Mom gets disappointed when she is kind of a pushover and lets them put pictures of tomatoes on the cover of the cookbook and not the actual women in their headscarves who cooked the recipes. Next, she's at some party where that mean princess lady straight up calls her a hypocrite to her face. It's very unusual.
It's got to be hard to look at yourself in the mirror every day pretending to be a British royal. And all you see is a hypocrite staring back at you. I suppose you'll just have to live a lie for the rest of your life. Oh, well, at least there's champagne.
I'm sorry, are you the ugly stepsister from Cinderella? Who talks to the Duchess of England like that? Curtsy to me. That's literally what Meghan does. She reminds her that she has to curtsy, which is a pretty sick power move, I think. It all goes to show that Meghan right now feels really too subservient, like she's just doing whatever the royals want. She doesn't have her own voice.
I feel sick.
It's going to be okay.
No, like I actually think I'm gonna be sick.
I don't know if you know, but in a Lifetime movie, when a woman throws up while inspiring music plays underneath and another female character knowingly smiles, that means she's pregnant. That's a positive pregnancy test in movie land. You don't even need to get a blood test done. You don't even need to see a doctor after that. The next scene, you should have a baby. Meghan gets back to town. She tells everybody that she's pregnant. Prince what's-his-name is super into it. He's like, oh, but I got you a dog as well. And it's like so funny. And then she stands up to Leonard, aka the man, by being like, guess what?
I'm not wearing them on the tour, and I am not wearing them to the Hamilton event tonight.
Your Royal Highness, you really have to wear pantyhose.
No, Leonard. I really don't.
And that's a conversation that definitely happened. It's like we took some things that were reported on, we were like, oh, she didn't wear pantyhose for the first time. And Lifetime thought to themselves, there must have been a really cool scene that motivated that decision. Let's get into it. Let's unravel that thread, why don't we? So she basically takes a stand and she's like, I'm gonna go ahead with my bold cookbook, as the news calls it. You would think that this one cookbook she's organizing is her full-time job right now. And this is causing problems for Harry, because her divisive political stances mean that basically Prince William and Kate Middleton, they have to separate their house officially so that they can distance their policy, which is more neutral, from Harry and Meghan's, which is a little more focused because they're not in line to be royal. This freaks out Prince Harry. He feels like his best friend, his brother, is rejecting him. So he starts getting a little snippy with our girl, Meghan.
I am presenting the award for Best Women's Wear.
Black nail polish. Wouldn't that be considered a little controversial?
No, that'll be considered fashionable.
Again, I remember the headlines when everyone was like, oh, Meghan's wearing black nail polish. That's so untraditional. This is real ripped from the headlines stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hot news. It's like they made a movie from all of the Pop Sugar articles of 2018. Harry admits that he can't deal with this type of controversial behavior because when she gets tired and moves on to the next guy, he'll be left holding the bag. She gets really mad about this. She's like, you've insulted yourself as a man and me as your wife. She's like really incensed. Also, the two of them don't seem to understand that they had basically this exact same fight in the first movie. I don't know, maybe that's because they're played by different actors. They don't share the same memories, but they could have already handled this resolution years ago. Even the solution is the same. Leonard shows Meghan a saint on the wall and is like, did you know he went up against something very similar as you? And this is exactly the same thing the Queen did in the last movie. She had a biracial ancestor sister, and she's like, she went up against something similar. All of the answers to Meghan Markle's problems are painted on the walls of the palace. Anytime you have an issue, oh, well, that guy figured this out in like 2,000 years ago, so you're stupid. I don't know what is going on here. William convinces Harry to apologize, and Leonard convinces Meghan to forgive him, so there we are.
Crown's gonna cover up that bald spot nicely.
They really try to sell like, those two boys are just really like the people's boys, you know, like we just love their rascally attitudes. They're just like America's sweethearts. Kind of tiresome, I'll be honest. But Harry apologizes to Meghan, they forgive each other, and I guess everything will always be fine forever now. And women are equal now because finally the chauvinistic male host of the TV show gets his from the teary-eyed and unfortunately overly impassioned female employee.
We get it. You got the prince's bun in your oven. Let's just hope it doesn't come out looking all burnt and frizzy-haired. Am I right?
No, Caspian, you're wrong. And I've come to realise, Caspian, from watching you tear down every good thing Meghan has tried to do this year, that you are a miserable, racist, chauvinistic pig. I am sick of taking orders from this prig, and get off me. I think I need my own show. But you tell me, people. Am I right?
Ooh, it's like the rule that if you get up and scream on TV that you deserve your own show, it happens. This woman knows what's up with Hollywood. Out of nowhere, we get a flashback to Princess Diana with the two little boys because we gotta plug that into the movie somehow. Americans, it seems, we're just obsessed with Princess Diana. So if you're gonna do anything about the royal family, you gotta get her in there. Make that lookalike count. This is the only lookalike they spent money on.
On the bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. On the bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
Aww. It seems finally the message is really distilled when Meghan tells her niece Charlotte that every princess has a dragon inside of them, and the trick is to know when to let the dragon out and when to be the princess instead so that you can get what you want by manipulating the press, basically. It seems like it's Christmas again. Is it always Christmas time in England? Or is that just, you know, the way that they can sell this movie all year long? Either way, we get more of the princes acting a fool in a way that I don't believe is authentic to the actual royal family. You tell me.
Whoa! No one defeats the Knights of Windsor!
Oh my god, shut up all of you. I think we should have a new royal family. Vote all of those people out. They can live at the mall because they're acting like the cast of Modern Family. I can't deal with it. I can't. Bridget has her own talk show where we get basically a meta recap. She's like, let's look back on the last year. And then they show clips of the movie to wrap it up. That's impossible and doesn't make sense. Thanks, Bridget. And finally, it ends with a point of view shot of the new baby looking up at her weird looking parents. It's a boy? Is it a boy, that baby? I don't know. You gotta tell me in the comments below. What did you think of Harry and Meghan becoming royals? Better or worse than a royal romance? I personally think maybe the cast had a little bit less chemistry. I think the story was dragged out a lot. There was a lot of unnecessary scenes. So I loved it. I think it deserves 2 thumbs up. I watched this video on Sling, but I think you can get it on Amazon, watch it on demand on Lifetime. Check out the full thing if you want with the link below, but let me know your thoughts. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you want even more clip breakdowns of TV movies like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload new ones every week. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you for becoming royal with me on this day. I will see you next time.